always loved him. He's always been my.
Hey everybody, hi, it's Diana Bellamy. I'm sorry I'm a little late. We got the music on in the background. I just got in here. Thank you so much. We did receive some calls, so I appreciate that. I know there's a lot of questions. I have an announcement to make. And it's funny because on my way here, I actually got a couple of phone calls, inboxes from men, particularly. I got booked to two speaking engagements, but it's private. And I found it to be funny because they don't want anybody to know that I'll be speaking at their event. It's an all-men event. And I thought, this is new for me, and I'm feel challenged, and I'm going to do it. And I can't wait. So you know who you are, the two guys that booked me for their next events. I don't know what you're going to want me to say at your events, but I'm just going to be honest and real and give it from a woman's perspective. And I'm hoping I can learn something as well. But anyway, we're in PA. We're in Stroudsburg, PA with the crew. And if you have any questions or if you want to call in, the number is 888-304-4401. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of my posts with regards to relationships, which is my expertise. But I'm going to take a break from that in a little bit, and we're going to start talking about leadership at some point because I'm going back into the colleges, and I'm excited about that. But the announcement that I wanted to make was that Diana's Real Talk is taking her show on the road, me, and I'm going to have it here in the Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania studio with the Genesis family, and I'm excited about that. And it took me a little while to understand what I was doing. I'm still going to be a part of Fearless Women, but Diana's Real Talk, my brand, will be here. This is my home, and I'm looking forward to having you guys come in. I know there's a few people who have been emailing me. Thank you very much to want to be on the show, and we're gonna talk about it together. Some of the calls I'll call you, the emails I'll reach out to you directly, or my intern will reach out to you. But one of us, somebody's going to reach out to you so that we can get you on here, okay? So that was my announcement. I'm excited and I'm happy, and it's unbelievable. God is so good. I see the comments coming in. Thank you everybody for connecting. So anyway, for the next hour, we're going to talk about what we always talk about, which is, and I have my co-host here, T Square.
That's
Say
right.
hi.
TP Square in the building, y'all. We back.
We back. We always back. And here's the rest of the crew. Everybody's in the everybody's here.
Peace.
Gorgeous.
That's
Everybody's
right.
here.
That's right. We here. GenesisRadio.com.
Genesis Radio.
DJ Dog in the booth.
That's right. I mean, the whole crew. Look at us. This is like a real professional setup over here.
Pick up on it before you drop
We
it.
try.
You know?
Not too hard.
But big shout out to, what was his name? Rob,
Rob.
Diana's here, so you better call back, man.
Rob. Okay. I don't.
Oh,
yeah, phone
that's
calls.
Rob.
There we
That's
go.
Rob. There we go.
Okay, a phone call is coming in.
Genesis Radio, who's calling?
Hi, this is Ramona. Hi, Diana.
Ramona, how are you?
Hi, sis.
Oh my God, Ramona is a part of the Fearless Women. She's a part of the trio with Sue Fearless, Ramona Mitchell, and she is not only my business partner, but she's my sister as well. Thank you so much for calling,
right.
sis. How are you?
Sis, I'm well. I don't have much to say. I didn't call to chime in. It's more so a comment. I just want to tell you how proud I am of you, and I see you doing your thing. And I love you.
Oh.
I absolutely love you.
I love you
how
too.
You make us so proud. Just keep doing your thing. And I know you're always with us. I just heard the announcement, but we spoke about that before.
Right.
And girlfriend, listen, you're doing it.
Thank you so much. I love you. That means a lot to me. So thank you.
God bless you.
It's what I look at it is more of us building. I'm not going anywhere. We're just building. That's all we're doing. Right?
It's an umbrella, right?
Exactly.
When you win, we win. We all win. You understand? So.
Right. And the Genesis crew would love to meet you, Ramona. Right, guys?
Yeah,
Definitely. I'm always down to be a beautiful, intelligent woman.
Listen.
I'm always down.
There's so much. You're going to get sick and tired of us.
Yeah, you probably will. Maybe
They don't
not.
call me a mixed baby daddy for nothing.
You know what? I'm not going there.
It's too much. It's too much. Ramona, you know what I'm about to do, right? I'm going to kick off the conversation about what you and I spoke about at dinner the other day with Sue and how we were talking about, you know, there's a crumb mentality, a crumb society as far as dating is concerned, and how we're accepting that, and how I'm trying to reach out to the masses, both men and women, that we can't have that crumb mentality. Feel me, sis?
That's right. We can't.
So that's what we're doing.
I know you have a lot to say. They're not even ready for you. You don't understand who this woman is. Y'all are not ready for Diana Bella.
Yeah, I think they're all right. I think they're hanging in there. I think they're doing good. I just haven't unleashed the full potential, but I will as time goes on. I will.
We're gonna get ready.
Yeah. You can't give it all to them all at once.
No, you can't. You know, that's the rules of engagement with everything in life. You know that.
That's right. Sis, keep doing your thing. I love you dearly. I'm so proud of you. I will be tuned in. And
I love you too. Thank you, sis.
I love you more.
All right, bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bless you. Bye.
That was Ramona Mitchell. Again, my sister, one of my best friends in this world, but she's also a very dedicated partner to the cause. She is probably the yin to my yang. She's really well-spoken, very patient and calm, and I'm the absolute opposite of all of that.
Caller.
We have another caller coming in.
GenesisRadio.com. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Marcus. What's up, Diana?
Marcus, how are you? Marcus.
Yes, Marcus. I'm on your Facebook.
Hi, Marcus. Thank you so much for calling in.
I just want to touch base on your post. You were talking about just people being actually honest about what they want in a relationship. It's kind of biased because men, we can't be honest. We can't say we just want to sleep with you because then it'd be a throw off to the woman.
Marcus, I hear exactly what you're saying, and I have another young lady in the room, and let me start by telling you this. I get where you're coming from. I really do. But I do have to disagree with you in this. I understand where you're coming from because you feel like if you're honest to the woman straight up and say, look, all I want to do is sleep with you, and they might exit before you even have a chance to sleep with her or get what you came for, that you just screwed yourself out of some ass, basically, right? I mean, some nook. So, and Marcus, you know, with my posts and what I do, I'm going to keep it very real with everybody. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. You know, as adults, you know, you need to keep it real and be honest at all times. If you want to sleep with me,
no, you're right.
And if I feel like that's what I feel like doing at the moment, then let's get it on and let's sleep with each other. Because if you don't do that, then you set yourself up with more problems. You might be able to, you might get a chance to hit it, and that's what you know, that's what you want, and I get that. But now you got to live with yourself. You got to live with the consequences. You got to now duck somebody. What if you see them in person? What if you trying to avoid their calls, their texts? It's too much of a headache. Just keep it real from jump, even if that means you talk yourself out of some nook.
What are you saying, bro?
Absolutely right, but as a man, out the gate, we are looked at as just being that type of individual. Like, even if we try to even wine and dine and just get to know the person,
right?
The first thing some women will insinuate is, "Oh, you just want sex." You know, and it's kind of rough for us out in the world because we do want generally what a woman wants. We just being perceived as being something that we're not. Like, some of us want really a long, extensive relationship.
You want something meaningful, right? You want the same thing. You know? You want the same things the human race wants. It's not a woman thing that wants commitment. It's a human race thing. Men and women want commitment. It's not just women. Let's straighten that out right there.
You're right, but society is different now. So we have a whole different culture now. Like, I'm 42 years old.
Right.
The culture is different from when my grandparents raised me and
He's
taught
right.
me about what relationship really meant.
You're right. You're right with the fact as far as I understand that. You're right with as far as commitment's concerned. But you have to also understand in our grandfathers and grandmothers' time, I'll say, a lot of I don't know about you, but my father came from the South and he had 2 families. My grandfather had 3 families. So did they want commitment? Yeah, but they was out there making families. So just as a people in general, we've been doing this for years. So we can't start and say society has changed. Has it changed? Because yeah, it has. But technology has made it even more difficult for us to communicate and connect as people. Nevertheless, this type of foolishness has been going on back since slavery days. Correct. That's something that we were made we were learned. That's learned behavior, and it's continuously going on. It's just done differently now through technology. So let's not get it twisted in the fact that this is what men and women want. We all want that. We all want a committed, meaningful relationship. And I feel, Marcus, if you go out with a woman, if you go out with me at dinner, I want you to tell me, listen, babe, this is how I'm feeling right now. I don't know how I'm going to feel, after we connect or whatever the case may be, but this is how I feel right now. This is what's going on in my mind right now. I respect you more. I respect you more as a woman, and you never know what might happen. If you continuously are honest with me, we might sleep with each other. We might not.
Let me say this.
I'm being honest with you. I'm going to tell you in the Uber.
Yeah.
There you go. See? He said he's going to tell me in the Uber. I love that.
At the same time, though, you got to understand that if you're not accustomed to this, say like this. I'm on my second marriage. People don't know that. And after my first wife, my mother told me, she said, look, be totally honest with a woman. I'm like, you lost your rabbit mind? So I'm saying to myself, she said, trust me, she said, tell them if you want to date. If not, fine, go on to the next one. I'm like, man, reason why she told me that because she knew when I was younger, I was always clingy to women. And then what happened was I didn't know I was a problem
to say that.
To the relationship because I didn't know. My point is that if you don't know, if you need to be honest, I'm going to say it like this. When I was honest with the women, I had the best 7 years of my life. Because I was honest. I told them in the beginning what it was. Right. I said, look, if I see you out in public with somebody else, I'm cool. They could understand it. When they see me somebody else, they're like, hey. I'm like, hey, I don't care because we were honest in the beginning. So I'm not.
Exactly. But that's my whole point, Marcus. Right. You heard what he just said. Like, he's on his second marriage already. Right. And my whole thing is I was married too. I was married for a very long time. I'm happily divorced now, and I'm dating successfully. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I'm dating successfully now, and I could actually say successfully, is because I'm being more honest, not only with myself, but with the man that's sitting across from me. Exactly. I'm no longer trying to make him understand me, or I don't want him to say things to make me understand him. I'm telling it exactly like it is from the gate. Listen, this is how it is.
Question, though.
Yes.
Quick question. Being honest.
Yes.
And you being honest in a situation, because sometimes it just be a situation. Sometimes it don't even be a relationship.
Exactly. Exactly.
So if you're being honest in a situation.
Hold on, Marcus. Hold on 1 second. Okay. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Don't you know that individual that you're being honest in this situation is going to perceive you differently than how you coming across?
Of course. Like,
that's what I mean. I'm afraid of being perceived as being somebody that I'm not, just because I'm being honest.
But if you're being honest, then you're being perceived to what you are. If you're being honest. Now, if the person is taking your honesty.
Could be, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, but if you're being honest to somebody and they are turning it into something that you're not, that's on them. That's on them. That has something to do with you. You're the one who has to be honest. You're the one who has to deliver the message of honesty. However, the audience takes your honesty is on them. You have already taken care of your job and what you're supposed to do as a righteous human being. That's what I was told. My last post was just be honest.
You're right.
Right? And here's the problem with being honest.
Quick question with you, Diane.
Okay. Personal questions. You know, I don't like personal questions. Go ahead, Marcus.
Meeting you in a location, and you're sitting down, and I go up to you, I say, hey, Diane, you look very beautiful. Why don't we just go somewhere so we can sleep together? You're like, oh, hey.
So we can sleep together? So the question Marcus asked, hold on, Marcus. The question Marcus asked me, it's a valid question. It's a valid question in today's dating world right now is completely, fucked up. Let's just keep it all the way real. It's a messy situation, and I don't think he's being disrespectful.
No.
I really believe that this is what this world has come to. The question Marcus asked me is, if I'm sitting in a location, he comes up to me and he goes, Dana, I think you're extremely beautiful, and I'd like to sleep with you. Let's sleep with each other. Has that ever happened to me before? Yes, it has happened to me before. And I'm going to tell you why it has happened to me before. Because both men and women make it so easy today with all their insecurities and weaknesses that now we've given people who would never even thought of approaching me the power to try to approach me because of the weakness that we all are experiencing in this dating world. Let's call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. There's hurt people hurting hurt people. And so now people are working off of insecurities. So, okay, so the first 3 girls you did it to, no. Eventually, there's going to be a yes. And then that one yes is going to make you believe that you could say that
Of course.
to anybody because it worked.
Exactly.
Right? So the answer is if you come up to me and you ask me that, I will reject you immediately. But I'm not going to reject you in a way that makes you feel less than a man. I'm going to tell you to go back to your seat. But I'm going to throw some knowledge at you because you're going to have to understand that there's certain women that are not about that life. And I happen to be one of them. I am old school. I am about respect, and that has to come back. And there's certain of us that are going to maintain that. And I'm one of them. I might be a dying breed, but that's what it's going to be. You can't come up to me and just say anything you want. It just doesn't work that way.
Okay, but that comeback, would it come back with a perception of me? Or that
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay,
Especially if you're open. Women, Marcus is asking very legitimate questions. And I know people are like, Dana, what are you talking about? You have to keep an open mind about what's going on today in society. Not just single people, married people too. As a matter of fact, I believe married people have it far worse than single people today because today's society is so messed up and so convoluted that even married people are being affected by this insecurity and bullshit that we have now. It's horrible. It takes more work, triple work now to keep a marriage together because of how society is. Single people, at least we have the chance to bounce. We could leave at any given moment without even ever giving an explanation. Right? So here we have to understand your question is not invalid. Will that change the perception of how we look at you? No, because you kept it real with me. I might not ever see you again or talk to you again because that's just not my thing. But you're a man that asked a valid question. Marcus, thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Diane.
Bye, Marcus. Thank you so much for calling in. I know we got some calls coming in. I hope I answered your question. If not, email me and I'll respond to you.
Yo, that was deep. Whoa.
Go ahead and take the next one.
You already.
Thank you for calling Genesis Radio. Who's calling?
Yeah, hi, this is Dale Hitch.
Oh, hi, Dale. How are you?
Hey, Diana and team, what's going on? How you doing?
Great. What's going on?
Not much. I just wanted to just kind of elaborate on your point that you made yesterday on one of your posts about, text messaging and in relationships. And I just wanted to say, I had an experience with that. And, I feel like text messaging certainly has its place. But I think largely, people seem to take advantage of it. And they feel like that text messaging, sort of replaces certain elements, in a relationship, like dialogue, like talking in person or talking on the phone.
Right? I mean, he's right. He's 100% right. Text messaging has become a mask for people who cannot express themselves clearly on how they feel or what they want. So people hide behind that. Is that another call coming in?
That's another call.
Dale, hold on a minute.
Sure.
Go ahead. Hold on.
Thank you for calling Genesis Radio.
It's okay.
Hello, you still there? Oh, seems like we lost that caller.
Oh, sorry, Dale. We lost you. I apologize. The phone has been nonstop since I walked in here, and I appreciate that. But call back if you can, 888-304-4401. And I try not to be so controversial, like I really do. But because these topics are so real, it becomes very controversial because this is very close to everybody's life. Text messaging, I appreciate text messaging on so many levels. However, you cannot use text messaging as only form of communication when you're trying to get to know somebody. My post was something like this. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was more like if somebody texts you personal questions as opposed to asking when you're free, you did not meet your next potential mate. You met your next text buddy. And I don't know about you guys. I'm in my 40s. I don't need another text buddy. I have nieces and nephews and my daughter and y'all. I don't need, I don't need it. I don't want it. To me, it's a waste of time. Text, as I said, today is a different time for us. Remember before, we didn't have that. We had beepers and phones. And I don't want to make myself seem old, but like when you saw 911 or when you turn upside down, call me, you call the person.
You know what the text message is supposed to be for? A quick reference, a quick note. People made it into a freaking thesis.
They did.
They write everything. I'm like, and then of course what I don't like in text messages is that they use slang. I'm writing pieces. Right.
See, that's me. That's me.
I'm going to write it out. And, my kids joke with me about that. But my wife and I, when we talk, we talk. But when my kids, I understand my kids, but in society, of course, that's a norm. To do a text message, that's a norm because everyone wants to quick out.
Yeah, but then you realize, like my experience with that was that when you text message and when you finally meet the person, it's just so uncomfortable. It's like
you can't have feelings.
Thank you for calling Genesis Radio. Who's calling?
This is comedian Nick Alexander. What's up, Diana?
What's up, Nick? Oh my goodness, you calling all the way from LA, California. He's a star now. What's up, Nick? How you doing?
I'm chilling. I'm laying in my bed listening to y'all talk that talk.
I hear that. So what you think so far, Nick?
It was funny that dude Marcus was just called. It was an interesting scenario because I just kind of went through something like that. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's hard to
Wait, what do you mean? Nick, you know how I am. I cut straight to the point. What exactly are you talking about? You went through a scenario like that. Be specific with me.
Here we go. So I took an L last night, right?
How did you take an L, Nick? Nick said he took an L because he tried to do something Marcus did.
No, it's what I did do. I didn't try to do. It was sustainable, but like, he was very just like, you can call me and, anytime you want or whatever like that. But in my mind, I'm like, I know I'm not calling you. But she was drunk. So when you're drunk and you're dealing with somebody, you have to kind of know how to watch your words.
Oh.
I could turn it to,
Oh, wait, so she was willing to have sex with you while being drunk, but you didn't go for it. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I smashed.
My man, way to go, bro.
Wait, Nick said he smashed.
Yes.
Okay.
Or did you beat it till it smelled like onions?
Smashing that.
You know what? This is the problem with being in a room full of men. I can't believe it. So, Nick.
He's my hero.
So you smashed. Okay, and now what? Are you going to call her again? Are you going to see her again?
He said no.
No.
Okay.
There you go. Did you explain that? But Nick, after you, at any point while she was coming on to you, did you stop and think this is going to be a mistake? This might be a long-term mistake? Because think about it. You're probably going to bump into her again, right? Especially what you do.
Probably.
Because he stands up. He's a stand-up comedian. And he does commercials. So you're very much out there. People recognize your face. She's going to see you again. So how do you plan on dealing with that? How do you plan on handling that?
Well, I was considering...
See, when you figure it out, give me a call. Bye, Nick. Love you. Now, see, I can't even judge him.
You can't.
I can't judge Nick because, again, this is what this boils down to.
She did it to herself.
She did it to herself. Again. And I can't judge her either because guess what? Maybe that's what she wanted.
But the funny thing about it is, it's like, is this real? Well, yeah, we get mad at people when they're not honest in the beginning, but then when they suppress their real feelings, then it comes out later on. It can come out wrong. So then, who are we giving?
But that's the response that I gave to Marcus. Like Marcus said,
will I be perceived this way if I'm honest? You might or you may not, but that's the gamble you got to play.
Her, he would have been good.
Exactly.
All depends on who you want to judge, so you're going to start judging now.
Well, here's the thing. Again, that was my whole blanket comment with my post. Like, at what point are we all going to start taking responsibility and becoming more honest? At what point are we going to say, okay, enough with this. Let's just be honest. This is how I feel. All I want to do is have sex with you. Or I really like you, and I really feel like I want to spend more time with you. And here's the thing. Being honest also means being able to take rejection. You got to be able to take rejection. Sure. And guess what? Rejection doesn't mean negative, bad things. It can mean a couple of things. You know, again, I'm a girl of God. So for me, it might be God covering me from something that I shouldn't have been in the first place.
But let me put a pin in that. I'm going to say this. I do not disagree with what you're saying, but I also, when you're rejected, it depends on how you were growing up seeing. I'm sorry, how you seen rejection. Because if you were small and you see rejection in a bad way, then when it comes to you, you're going to take on the same traits, whatever you see.
But that's insecurity.
It's insecurity, but you don't. Some people don't know that and understand that. So then they may go into a relationship one way. I can sit there and speak for myself. I didn't write a book like you all can. I didn't understand because I didn't see it. It was a model to me. So then when it became a model to me, I'm like, oh, I changed this way. So then when I changed, people are like, oh, you lost your rabbit mind.
No, right. But you figured it out, didn't you? Right. So guess what? We all figure it out. The problem is we don't want to accept it. That's the problem. Because some of us like living in a false person. People like being false and covering up because they're too afraid to become vulnerable and maybe being rejected and maybe being hurt. But it's okay to be rejected and hurt. It's okay.
But I agree.
That's
sometimes
growth.
When you're rejected, that's the best thing for you.
That's the best thing
that
for you.
Not for you if they're rejected.
Exactly. I mean, so many times I get, Diana, you must be getting so many proposals every single day, Diana. You must be getting this. And I'm looking at them. And I know you have the most glamorous lifestyle. Do you know what I did last night? I had some girlfriends. I have some very glamorous girlfriends. They're very, Met Gala girls. I was on my couch with a bottle of red wine watching cartoons. And I had the best time of all. Yes. Because I have now decided, and I have decided this for a long time, and that's why I could get up on the stage and talk about what I talk about, is because you can't talk about something that you're not living.
Correct.
Right? You can't do that. That makes you a fraud and you're a hypocrite. And a lot of these people that call themselves motivational speakers, a lot of these people that call themselves, they're not. It's bullshit. They're living a secondary life. They don't preach what they speak. And sometimes being alone is growth. Matter of fact, being alone is growth. It's at that time for you to get to know yourself better. Again, this is not just for single people. This is for married people, too. You have to be a whole person by yourself, and you have to be a whole person in a marriage. That's your time to do it.
I'm going to say that with my wife. We take separate vacations because it's necessary. And she'll tell you, when we're home together, my wife travels. But when she's home, we do get our quality time. But then if it's more than 3 days, we got a problem. So then, she works, whatever. But then when she go on her vacation, I go on my vacations. She knows where I'm at. I know where she is.
Right. It's a matter of respect.
And because I love my wife, but sometimes we don't like one another. And we need that time to rebuild.
And that's natural and normal.
Right. Me and my wife have been on separate vacations since 2008.
Mine too. It's called divorce. It's a full vacation. We don't come back. That's my vacation. Divorce. Now wait, playing. No, I don't want to sit here and say divorce is great because divorce is terrible. Biblically, it's terrible. Emotionally, it's terrible. It's worse than death because I would rather die than go through a divorce again because with death, it's over. A divorce, you got to see them, especially if you got kids with them. You got to continue to revisit your death all over again.
But let me say this: even though divorce is somewhat frowned upon, sometimes it's the thing where if you two can understand that, hey, we took it somewhere where it didn't need to be, but we've learned this lesson. We've been blessed maybe with children or through that
situation.
Right. But now let's agree to be civil and we won't
Move
take
on.
it there anymore, but we're cool.
And that doesn't have to be.
And we all gave it our best
Right.
shot.
Yeah, we
so
gave it our
nobody
best.
has to
If you can
feel-
honestly sit there and
Yeah,
say,
but are you
tried
saying
your
to give
best.
it your best shot and still live with the person?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay, because that's unacceptable
Yeah, no.
and that's
But
non-negotiable.
To be civil, to have gone through that experience and mutually understand, hey, this wasn't right for us. But we're cool.
Yeah.
I wish you nothing but the best. And I hope you do find the happiness.
That
in
is in a beautiful
It's
world.
nice when it happens.
That's
sometimes.
beautiful when
But
it
that
happens
comes
because I
from
have that
maturity.
now.
That
But
comes from maturity.
it comes from maturity. Exactly.
And going through a divorce, it takes time, just like everybody else.
Exactly. It's not
there's going to be a
overnight.
time where y'all living together, but it doesn't mean y'all together. So, but you're still going through the process. So
Ooh.
everybody
Listen,
who's been through a divorce has been through that.
you know,
I had a
Nobody
legal
just said we're gonna have a
but I
divorce,
was with someone
and then the
for
same
years.
day
It's
they
still
just
the
walked
same
out
thing.
and left the room.
Same
I never heard of that. You know, like we got a divorce the same day they just broke out. It normally takes a process.
it does.
Well, I'll admit. When
Especially
me-
if you got kids.
when me and my
Absolutely.
When me and my ex first separated, I wish he got hit by a truck.
Oh, Jesus.
I get it.
But he changed
but
his mind later.
To this day, I wish the best, nothing but the best for her. And we are civil, and we care and hope nothing but the best for each other. And I hope whatever relationship or situation she gets into, hey, I wish you
It
the
works
best.
for her. Right, exactly. I get it.
And I know what you're saying about the Bible, but I do believe that God knows our hearts. So if you're in a relationship or in a marriage that is not healthy for you, I don't think He'd want us to be in it.
No, absolutely not. God doesn't want his children to be abused,
Yes.
hurt, suffering,
Or
anyway.
lonely.
Or lonely.
You could
But
be
see,
in a
here's the
marriage
problem
and
with
be
being lonely. And this is, again, I don't want to be militant because I'm not militant. I just want people to be cognizant, right? Lonely is not a bad thing. Like, I want
Yeah,
people to
it's a good thing.
understand that. Being lonely is an opportunity. When people start looking at lonely synonymous to opportunity, you'll see less problems in this world. You will see less STDs. You'll see less, breakups and things like that. Because lonely does not mean,
I'm miserable. I can't.
yeah, that
need
I'm
somebody.
I need to be, I need to be miserable or
TP,
sad.
TP, that means when Diana comes in, we don't have to stand at attention.
No, not at all.
Not at all. Yes, cool.
When I don't do what?
No, because when you come through, we stand at Diana's here. We all snap to attention.
What? What does that mean? What does that have to do with lonely?
We appreciate your militant standpoint.
I don't know if I'm militant. I really don't think I'm militant. I'm just
Don't be that guy.
don't be that guy.
Yeah,
Just don't be that guy. And and it's funny, Terry, because you and I talk about this a lot. Terry and I make this. I make a joke out of it, but Terry is the guy version of me, and I'm the woman version of Terry.
Absolutely.
And that's just the way it is. And
I thought Terry was kind of cute.
he is cute.
Supposed to be no homo behind that.
Exactly, no homo.
Definitely no homo.
It's true though, but I feel like, once you come to a certain point and you've graduated from your childlike behaviors, because I really feel a lot of adults today, both men and women, are still living their childlike behaviors. And it's sad because you haven't grown out of that. You haven't prayed out of that. You haven't suffered out of that. And I believe I am attracted to people who have been through some shit. I like people who have been through something, who can teach me something, that has a perspective. If you agree with me all the time, men and women,
Yes,
I have no use for you. No use for you. Yes. I just honestly, and for people who are out there that are dating, I have been booked a few times to talk about, and mostly with women, and I'm starting to see a new surge of men hiring me to speak at their events, which I find to be very funny. Yeah. And I think it's great because I feel like those men are opening up their minds and mindsets to say, let's see a female's perspective. Let's see how this goes. Because there's one or two things that are happening here. There's the feminist who knows herself, who is not absent of being a good woman. Feminism does not mean you can't be a great mate to your man. You could still be subservient. You could still be, right? People always get a choice. They go too far. That's not what we do. But there are two types of women. There's a few types of women, but the women that I'm associating myself with are two. One, a powerful woman who knows herself,
who's working on being a virtuous woman, who's working on educating herself and getting to know herself, better herself. The other woman is the one that just doesn't give a shit. She'll sleep with whoever, do whatever, an opportunist, and, you know, just do whatever it takes to make it. And that is, I have nothing against stripping. If that's what you want to do, you go ahead and do it, girl. But I'm talking about these women who are compromising who they are as a human being, their bodies, their minds, their souls, just to feel that connection. Whereas the women who people perceive that are got it all together, are probably the most not lonely, but by themselves, because they're working on themselves. They don't need somebody there all the time to pat them on their backs, because quite frankly, once you have needs and a Bible and a quiet room, that's all the pat in the back you need, quite honestly.
You don't need validation.
Right. And if you have a good tribe and create a good tribe of women and men around you, that's another great source of
That's
validation.
key, though. If you don't have that core of people around you, you're going to become whatever you are.
Exactly.
People not like that. So then, you know, if you come, me being honest with my wife when we first met, and I was 1994, and when I met her, I met her in the club. We met in the club. And
bottles.
But that's how we used to meet people back in the day. It was in a club.
Being honest with each other in the beginning,
right?
And so then being honest with her, because it was not for my mother, God rest her soul. She said, "Be honest with her." And when I was able to be honest, my friends I hung around changed, because you know there were some shifty people who lie all the time. And like, you know,
well, when you are living a deceitful life, right? Those are the people that you're going to attract.
Absolutely.
Right? Regardless of where you are in this world. I don't care if you're in corporate America. If you're not about nothing, that's what you're going to be around.
Right.
Once you start making a change and being honest with yourself, you're going to lose a lot of people. But the friends that you do gain, the people, I call them my family, like Sue and Mona, and, you know, all these different people in my life, Terry, you guys, you know, have become more family. These are the people you want to surround yourself with, not with the people who you were starting with in the first place. If I'm still your friend after 20, 30 years, big ups to you, because I've changed many, many, many times. Dana, Fidencia, Lisa, I've changed so often that, and I continue to change, but these people are still my friends. So that says a lot about them.
A lot of times when you grow, you can't take certain people with you because they're not going to be able to.
And some family
get on
members.
that journey with your family members as well.
Exactly, and that's where they say it's lonely at the top. Guess what?
Beautiful place.
It's a beautiful place. It's paradise. Because by the time that person does come, you're so good. You're so free and fresh.
And that person that's coming with you understands
that.
Going to help you grow.
Exactly.
And not keep you back. So
exactly.
Then if you wanting that person that's going to keep you stagnant, all right, that's your problem now. The person that's supposed to be with you is right there, but are you accepting them? That's which is always key.
To grow what you grow through.
Right. Go through what you go through. Praise what you just got to do what you got to do. And, you know, I always tell people like this. I always say, you know, are we wrapping up? No. Oh, okay. Are we getting ready to wrap up? Are we wrapping up? No, we're not wrapping up? Okay. I see all these signals going on. And you know me, I'm not about whispering. I'm like, what are we doing here?
No, just the banging.
The banging. Okay, yeah. I have that Latina thing to me, and I slam on everything. Well, not everything.
Be careful with that
You
one.
made that one too easy.
But see, I think
Sorry, guys.
it depends on where
I
your
don't
mind
slam
went,
on
though.
everything.
Depends where your mind went.
Again, too easy.
Listen, just because I'm trying doesn't mean I still don't, go through what everybody else goes through. I'm still human.
No, but you make those comments, those side comments.
Listen.
Banging and
But see, she didn't intend it like that. So
I didn't intend it that way.
Where your mind went.
Yeah.
Your mind went there.
Baby
so
daddy.
you know
they
what?
call
You
me
need
baby daddy for a reason, bro.
You need to go out and go clean yourself, young man.
I need Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah,
we all need Jesus.
Yo, funny story. Going through one of my situations, the marriage counselor told my ex-wife, "What you want him to do? you just need a newspaper and a seat. Just
Relax. Sit down and relax.
She ain't gonna change." So watch what you say. Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Listen, guys, girls.
I'm gonna get you.
This dating thing is serious. It is serious. And a lot of people say to me, Diana, damn, but it's been 5-6 years and I'm still, because baby, it's just not your time. Something is going on within yourself that you got to figure out. And you have to also ask yourself, who are you choosing?
Right.
Who are you choosing to spend time with? You know, Sue and I laugh about this all the time. It's who raised you. When I date somebody, when I meet somebody, I want to know how you act towards your mother. I want to know how you act towards your aunt, your grandmother, your uncles, your father. I want to know all these things. That says something about you. I want to know your relationship with your kids. I need to understand these things. You know, you have to start creating this story, this backstory about this person like they have to do with me. If I invite you into my house, you should be looking around. You should sneak upstairs and look inside my bathroom to see if my tub is dirty. Because that says something.
It does.
And, you know, people joke about that, but it's true.
I was told that from young. My mother said, the way he treats his mother is the way he's going to treat you.
Exactly.
That is true.
And I met a lot of men who said, you know, I don't even know what I was thinking about because I saw how she treated her kids. Well, if you saw how she treated her kids, what made you stay for a year and then thought she was going to change, dummy?
You know, that's because
If she treats her own kids, people who she created, how do you think she's going to treat you?
Exactly.
Right? If this man, if you meet this man and he's calling his mother names and he's doing certain things to his own daughter, what makes you think he's going to do it anything differently with you? Why? Because you're cute and because you're new? No, baby, it just takes time. Your turn is coming.
Especially the way a man treats his kids.
Exactly.
And then you want to have a happy family with this man, and you see he's not even visiting his own children and taking care of his own.
I don't understand that, and this is why I tell. But you know, I don't even feel sorry for a lot of people today. I don't feel sorry for them because, quite honestly, I'm so sick of the excuses. Because once you get to a certain point in your life, the excuses to me are complete bullshit. You know, you saw the red flags, and yet and still you continue to put yourself in the same situation. Why are you pregnant 6 times with the same guy that beat the skin off of you?
Right, right.
Why? Why are you with your baby mama who beat you last night, and you're a man, and you're getting beat, and she's cheating on you with your best friend?
Right, right.
Why are you still there? Why are people afraid to say goodbye?
To toxic.
People are afraid to say, come into my world. People are afraid to say goodbye. I'm telling you, this world is so messed up. That's where honesty comes in. You got to be honest. You got to speak up and say, listen, this is what I want. I tell you, I'm the easiest person in the world to date. If you ever get an opportunity to date me, I tell it straight up. I'll have my glass of wine. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I want. Da-da-da.
Expectations.
Exactly. Now, I will also say, it can work against you, like Marcus mentioned, because now, with that honesty, sometimes people become very insecure and nervous, intimidated by that. But guess what? I want that to happen because I just eliminated a dud from my life.
Filter out the crap.
Get it out. Get it out. The one that stays is the one that I need to be dealing with anyway.
Exactly.
Because this is the one that's going to look at me and say, okay, she told me what she's expecting. This is what I can expect from her. And she's consistent in her behavior and what she says. And I find that a lot of times in this dating world, there's not enough consistency. Again, I'm not trying to be militant. What I'm saying is, if you're telling me you're interested in me, call me, text me. Don't do paragraphs of text because I'm going to delete it and block you.
Let me ask you a question about that.
Period. I'm done. I'll block you and delete you, and you'll never hear from me again because it's annoying.
Because of my maturity in my marriage and life, when you say you want a man to know you, aren't you not giving him expectations, but telling him what you want? Because what I'm saying is that, because I went through many counseling sessions with my wife, because when we went, I said what I did, because I can't go and say what she did.
Right. Take responsibility. Right.
So, if you're telling me, if my mind is messed up, and you say, well, call me. I'm like, well, what do you want? If you don't tell me, we don't tell our people, they say, I want to date you. All right, this is what I expect from you. once again, in the beginning, put out expectations.
Mm-hmm.
It's, well, you can call me this many times a day, whatever. Because I don't want to sit there and seem like I'm not interested, but I am interested. But then I don't want to seem too aggressive. Should you not be telling me?
That's a very, very, very valid question. That is so valid because I've been through that.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you really like somebody, you don't want to call too much. You don't want to text too much. You don't want to seem clingy. And I get that, right? But if you're real with yourself, again, you have to be real with yourself, and the person has to be honest. You got to be honest with each other. Like
you only get one chance.
Right, exactly. So my thing is, okay, so hey, social media is huge, so you know the DMs and the inboxes are ridiculous. If I showed you my inboxes, you'd be like, what the hell? I have like 1,000 unanswered messages, and every once in a while, I'll go through them and I'll go, oh, okay, this guy actually said something. I want him on my show, or I want to talk to him. I'm interested now. If we meet each other, we text, hey, how are you? I love what you're doing. Thank you. I love what you're doing too. Immediately, this guy said, and I wasn't even interested in him like that. I just liked his perspective on something. Give me your number. Turn off. Complete turn off. It's the way he did it. Yeah. And it's sad because you do need to have a balance. You have to figure out that balance, and that's a tricky balance, but it all is a matter of your audience. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's all a matter of, for me, when I sit in front of a guy and I have dinner with them, I say, listen, you know, obviously you know what I do. And sometimes it works against me because they know what I do. They see what I do. I'm a public figure. So, but I'm also very real and honest. And I'm like, look, I'm not looking for this. I don't need this. Penis does nothing for me. Whatever. I already have kids, so I'm not looking for that either. And the guy is sitting there like, damn, you have to really appreciate when a woman does that because she's giving you the roadmap. She's giving you the answer. You don't have to work. Here are the answers. When a guy says, look, I went through a divorce. I'm open to dating. He's giving you, ladies, the roadmap to success.
No surprise.
Right. And the more and more you take time to get to know the person and actually sit down and talk to them, it doesn't have to be a 5-star restaurant. It could be a cold cut sandwich at a park. Yeah. Right?
It's about what you bring.
It's the conversation. It's the connection that you have with the person. Get to know them. Stop making it your business to open your legs or to want to always smash, as Nick said, because at the end of the day, maybe that's what you want. Yeah. But let's take some time to figure it out.
A lot of people try to change people. They'll tell you exactly what you want, and they figure if I put it on them good enough.
That's exactly what it is.
They're going to want a kid with me. But the guy told you from the beginning he doesn't want anything.
That's right. And ladies, that's another thing. When a guy says he doesn't want anything with you and all he wants to do is be your friend with benefits, you know what you have to believe him.
Diane, but if this person is crazy though, and you don't know they crazy, and they don't know they I find out I know you're crazy. I'm like,
pick up something.
Yeah, like okay, we got problems.
Listen, but
that's all good.
That is unfortunately that's what you got to go through.
That's part of being in the
jungle. That's a part of being in the jungle.
Out there.
Hey,
Diane, I'll tell you a funny story. Me trying to be a gentleman, I was working hard at it. Young lady took out dinner, trying to wine and dine, be respectful and everything. She actually questioned my sexuality. Because
I heard that before.
She was like,
I heard that before.
You don't want it? I'm like,
yeah, I heard that before.
I want it, but I was trying to be respectful about it.
What the comment was, he took this woman out for dinner. He's being respectful. He did, from what in his perspective, he did everything right. He, tried to be he was a gentleman with her, and she questioned his sexuality based on the fact that he was being respectful. Mm-hmm. And that does occur. Mm-hmm. And honestly, those are the women who I have a problem with personally to today. Those are the women because they make it hard for women like us who actually want that, right? These are the women that I face on a daily basis, and we have a problem. This is why I do what I do, because those are the women I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Those are the ones that I'm here, a part of my, my duty is to try to help these women understand, like, where's your mindset?
Right.
What are you doing?
And sometimes it's like you being how you are, and I am how I am. I have integrity, but these men come at me a certain way because, like you
That's
said,
what I just
the women
said.
are giving them permission, so they figure, well, let me try her, and I'm like, but what about me made you think that you can
Do that
me
to
that
me,
way?
right?
And he says, well, like you said, it worked before, and I'm like, well, I'm a totally different woman, so you have to approach me as an individual.
Yeah.
You know.
But here it is. Again, I'm not militant. I'm real. Like Marcus said, I'm a little militant, I guess.
It's okay.
But my thing is, if a dude does come to you that way, you as a woman of integrity, don't take offense to it. I laugh. I actually laugh the fact that you thought that you could talk to me that way. And I think it's funny because of what his experiences have allowed him to think that he could come up to somebody like me.
Yeah.
And talk to me that way. That is an opportunity, baby.
Oh, I've checked him.
That's an
And it
opportunity.
wasn't an angry check. I just said to him, unfortunately for you,
Right.
Because you're
I'm
used
not
to getting
that
it a
trick.
certain way. I'm not that.
There
type
you
of
go.
way.
Exactly.
And I said, good luck with your future endeavors, but you're not going to come at me like that and expect me to go out on a date with
Yes,
you.
exactly.
I mean, I've had guys ask me some wild questions, like, "What is your such and such shape like?" And like
What? Somebody asked her what's the shape of her her girl.
Yeah, and we were out together, and everything was great. I laughed so much. We had a really good time. And towards the end, I guess he got a little comfortable. And we're talking, and he's like, "Let me just ask you one question because," and once he asked me that, it killed the whole.
I get turned off so quickly.
Yeah,
One guy
it
at
was
dinner
over
asked
after
me, "Can I just taste it?" Like at the table, he wanted to go under the table and taste it, and I was like, "You know what?
Jeez, man.
Wow. I couldn't even. I think it's because I'm part comedian as well. I actually started laughing because I thought to myself, that is some funny stuff right there. Like, sucks for you that you'll never see me again, and no, you can't. But the fact that he felt comfortable enough to say that in his own ignorance. Because now I'm curious as to why you're so ignorant.
Oh no, you don't want to be curious about that. Let them be. Let them make it. Let them make it.
I understand that, but I'm a mindset coach.
Right.
So for me, I need to understand all mindsets.
Why would you?
Oh, I would have loved to have met dude. I'd have told him, yeah, go under the table. I'll be right back. And I'd have left him under the table.
Well, you know what I did do, and I maybe shouldn't. I shouldn't admit to this.
Share it now. It's too late.
All right. So we were in the city, Midtown.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me just go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I asked the guy who's cooking, the waiters, I said, where's the back door? And I ordered steak and lobster and like a bottle of the best, French wine and bounced and left. And I jumped in a yellow cab, and he never saw me again, ever, until 10 years later he saw me.
No.
I was walking up 6th Avenue in Midtown Manhattan, and I don't know how he recognized me, because it's rush hour.
Yeah, you got his credit card.
And he was like...
right, he remembers.
That's that chick.
When you hit a man in his pockets, they remember you. That's the one.
That might have broken it. You just never know. That could put him over the edge.
Probably. Listen, he was wearing a Rolex. They probably got that Rolex. That's none of my business. My business was I found the situation to be very Benny Hillish. If you remember Benny Hill, it was very funny. I thought it was funny.
Before your time,
and and I just found it to be funny.
Oh, he's calling right now.
Yes,
Genesis
Mr. Governor.
Radio,
Now
who's
let me
calling?
stop.
This is Lorenzo in the building.
Hey, Lorenzo.
What up, y'all? What's going on?
Lorenzo, how are you?
What's good, bro?
I'm doing okay. I'm going to see y'all next week. I hope we have the same topic.
I don't know, because my topics are going to change every week, and I would love for you to be a part of them. We'll talk about it offline later.
Well, there's a couple of things I would like to get my insight on what the topics which y'all was talking about today. I would like to, I'm not going to share nothing now, but I'm going to come back with that next week.
All right, Lorenzo, we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Lorenzo. Thanks for calling, bro.
Bye.
All day, Genesis Radio, all day. You already know.
Definitely so, bro. Peace.
Okay, we got 10 minutes. Lorenzo's too much. But I think...
With that North Carolina weather.
Right, exactly. So, anyway, he saw me years later in Midtown, and he said, Diana Bellamy? And I said, yeah. And I remembered him. Like, you never forget the person you walk out on dinner with, you know. So I remembered him. And he's like, I'd like to take you to dinner again. Oh, no. It was like, what you did to me.
He wanted a do-over.
Right. He said, what you did to me wasn't funny. It was hurtful, and I thought about it all these years. He said, I got married, divorced, and I still thought about you.
But what he did to you was disrespectful.
He wanted his $300 dinner back.
That's exactly what it was, and he never even got that.
Cut it out. Wow.
So if you're out there, sir, if you're out there, I apologize.
I wouldn't even he did that.
Just exactly. I'm gonna wear a shirt that says "Don't be him."
Yeah, don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy. Exactly. You know? So we got 10 more minutes into the show. Watch maybe 5, right? Because we're gonna wrap up.
Yeah, you know.
Well, I got a question for you, Diana.
Oh, yeah.
This is has puzzled me. Just how do you know when it's a wrap? How do you know?
Okay. So the question was, how do you know when it's a wrap? When it's over, when you know it's actually done and over. I don't know about how other people behave, but from what I do in my experience with hundreds of men and women, when you know it's over, it's that feeling of not wanting to try. It's that feeling of not even wanting to see that person. Yep. That person is no longer a priority in your life. You don't even think about the person in your day-to-day. You don't. I was seeing somebody recently, and it wasn't anything sexual. It was just me getting to know the person, right? I'm getting to know the person. We're seeing each other. We're going out. We're going. And then he did something. Like I told him, I'm a very affectionate person. However, don't treat me like I'm your wife out in public when I'm not. Don't do it. Let's get to know each other respectfully. This guy wants to hold my hands and kissing me on my face and my head, and I'm like, dude, first of all, that guy. And he said, there's 5 levels of love. He said for me to read the book. He blamed it on me that I didn't know the 5 levels of love and how his level of love is being affectionate and I'm cold and I'm this. I'm like, no, bruh, you just met me.
Yeah, that's too much.
You're 2 weeks in and you're like, he's snatching me up in the streets. And, some guy came up to him, gave him a compliment. He wanted to fight the dude.
Oh, no. He was crazy.
And right there and then,
insecure.
It took no time for me to know. Like, no time for me to know. Most times, people know even before it's over. Oh, yeah. Particularly a woman in general. Women know. Yeah. We've already broke up with you. In our minds, way before the breakup occurs.
True story. I concur.
Right?
I concur. Because, look, I know me. I break up with a woman long before she knows it's over with. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like, you done messed up. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You can cancel Christmas. It's just, you know what? Sometimes we just hang around for a little while, just until we ready to make our move. You know what I mean? We got enough chips in the bank. We found that new crib we like. You know what? Hey, we might have met Miss Wonderful. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
I agree with him. I agree with him completely.
So when you come home and the locks are changed, that's a sign, right?
That is a huge sign it's over.
Absolutely.
When the doors are locked, it's a wrap for you. It's done. I mean, yeah, it's, I think, again, boiling down to honesty, if you know it's over, just say it.
Yeah, just say it.
Listen, I like you. Some people can't, and I can see the comments coming up. Some people can't do it because they have real estate involved, mutual things that could hinder them financially.
Man, step your game up, man. Ain't nothing.
Exactly. If you made that money,
a real baller can lose it all and get it all back. Don't mean nothing.
I agree with you.
I lost it 3 times.
Don't mean nothing.
Right? And still managed to get it back.
Most jokes get on purpose.
Just be honest.
You out of here, baby.
Just be honest.
I hear that a lot. Like, oh, I'm gonna lose everything. I'm gonna lose my house. Just walk away.
No, get a good lawyer.
Yeah, that too.
Like, be responsible. Get a good attorney, and figure it out legally and respectfully. Yeah. It doesn't have to come across where, and one thing I hate is when men and women don't respond to the text or don't respond to the call or don't just say what it is. Mm-hmm. And I gave the guy I was telling you about, I gave him a common courtesy to say, listen, this is not going to work.
Instead of
well, why? What did I do? What could I have done better? You're you. You were just being you.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm just not the girl for you. So how about we not do this? How about you don't communicate with me anymore? I don't communicate with you. I don't see a friendship in this. I'm never going to need anything from you. I think you're a great person, just not for me.
Instead of not answering the texts and the calls, just like you said.
Right, and people don't have to be mean either about it. Like, you could give the person a compliment and still tell them you don't want to ever see them again.
Mm-hmm. You're a great person, like you said, and we're going to go our separate ways.
Right. Yeah. I know it's harsh. And I know people are like, damn, Dana. The more and more people hear me speak, they're like, damn, she's real hard. But I'm not. I'm a realist.
I don't think nothing's wrong with what you said.
Diana's real talk. That's what's all
I think that's what it is. I think, and I have.
Is it better to keep them around and tell them that you're interested? If you're not, that's harsh.
That's even worse because now you're rejecting them. Exactly. And a lot of crazy things have occurred dealing with people's emotions.
Or you're acting funny all of a sudden. They don't
Ill. And then you don't want to be touched. Exactly. Why would you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation? You know, and you know, men and women, you don't want to be rubbed or touched. I know I don't. Mm-hmm. I'm going to cut it off at where it is, and it's a wrap. That's it. Yeah. We don't have to talk anymore. And I'm literally going through that right now. And he doesn't accept he doesn't accept that it's a wrap.
You know, that's funny, right?
We're in the jungle.
Yeah, that's funny because that guy, don't be that guy, man.
Don't Terry, I texted Terry. I got this text. I got a call 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Don't call me 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday for nothing unless you're giving me some money. Period.
Don't be that guy.
Right? Oh, I just want you to know I'm over here. I'm doing this. I don't give a damn if you fell down a flight of stairs. Stop. Why are you calling me? I just told you. And then I called Terry like, man, you all right? I'm just checking on, because now I'm up.
Yeah, but you know, some people got it, some people don't.
Just block.
You know, if you corner
the
ball, you the corner the ball. That's it. You the corner the ball.
It's true, but it's sad. You know, even when you're trying to be honest, you can't even be honest. No. Because sometimes people won't even let you be honest, and they want to make you think you're crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm just being honest. Yeah. If I go out with a guy, and here's to all of you people out there, if I go out with you, and you feel like this is just not it, just let me know.
Just tell you.
I promise you, you will never hear from me again. Mm-hmm. Ever. I'm not everybody's cup of tea.
See, I like how that sounds. I like how that sounds.
You understand?
I'm like, you know what? This ain't gonna work.
It's just not gonna work.
My 5 famous words, you no good for me. And if you can understand my 5 famous words, you no good for me, and accept that, it's a beautiful thing. We can be friends forever.
That happened with me on a date. We figured that out on the date, and you know what? We're still friends today.
You see, exactly.
Because we were friends, we just weren't meant. I was too strong for him,
right?
And he told me that I had too much personalities, that I was just too strong-headed. He wanted a pushover woman. I'm really submissive. I'm submissive in my own way.
Yeah.
But I'm not just like, oh, baby, yes, whatever you say, whatever you do, I'm going to get down on my knees right now because you said. I'm not like that.
No, I'm not like that.
But to this day, we're best friends.
Yeah, because sometimes men-women dynamics doesn't have to be a romantic dynamic. It could be just a friendship. It could just be that, right?
He's my daughter's God, you know.
Look at that.
I love you. There's nothing better than being lovers and friends. You got to be lovers and friends.
You have to be lovers and friends, but sometimes
and business partners. Let's get some money. We're gonna be friends. We're gonna be lovers. It's gonna be a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
you know
I agree. I agree.
Just don't be that guy.
But he was very controlling. He wanted things his way, and I'm not that type.
See, again, you know, right.
You're not gonna just have me on a chain and pull me. Tell me when to heal.
No, there are some women that are like that. Mm-hmm. We're just not that type of women. Anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm so glad all of you guys joined us. I see all the comments coming up. I love all of you guys. I love how committed you are to Diana's Real Talk. I see how you're following me. I see we're growing together. I want us to continue to grow together, and thank you everybody that called in and actually had enough patience to call back, even when I did show up to the studio. So we're going to do a lot more of this.